Title: The Secret of the Corner Bookstore. The mysterious encounter. Charlotte Adams was a 28-year-old young writer who had been struggling for years to make a name for herself in the literary world. After several rejections from publishers, he decided to change his life and move to a different city. He chose Austin, Texas, seeking a change of air, inspiration, and, perhaps, an opportunity to write his next novel. When moving, Charlotte encountered something unexpected. In one of the first walks around the neighborhood, she came across a small bookstore on the corner of a street. "Be calm. The secret of the corner," said the sign on the door in gold letters and a touch of mystery. The bookstore, although somewhat old, had a welcoming air that invited her to enter. Curious, Charlotte decided to investigate. Crossing the threshold, the smell of old books enveloped her. The shop was full of wooden shelves that reached the ceiling, covered with books of all the shapes and sizes. A warm and welcoming atmosphere, with a soft light illuminating the corners. The place seemed perfect to find inspiration. The mysterious owner, while exploring, Charlotte noticed that the bookstore was empty, except for a man who was behind the counter. He was tall, with dark, unkempt hair, and wore thick-rimmed glasses that gave him an intel. He looked intellectual. He looked concentrated, but when Charlotte approached, he looked up and smiled at her. "Are you looking for something in particular?" he asked in a soft and friendly voice. Charlotte hesitated for a moment. She knew because she wasn't looking for anything specific, but she felt a strange connection with the place. "I was just curious," she replied, smiling shyly. "This place has a special energy." The man he nodded, as if he knew exactly what she meant. "Yes, it's a special place. I'm the owner, David. Sometimes, books have a way of attracting the people who need them most." "Are you writer by chance?" he asked, without taking his eyes off her. Charlotte was surprised that he guessed her profession so quickly. "Yes, but I'm still starting. In fact, I'm looking do something inspiring for my next novel." David observed her for a moment, then gestured for her to approach a particular section of the library. "Then, perhaps you should take a look at this section. You have to trust your intuition. Sometimes books choose us, not the other way around." Charlotte, intrigued, went towards that area, where she found a collection of books ancient, with worn covers and yellowed pages. Something inside told him he should take them, as if those pages could contain answers to questions he didn't even know he had. The lost book. Charlotte spent hours in the bookstore, browsing books and getting lost among stories she didn't know existed. At one point, a particular book caught her attention. It was small, C, on a worn leather cover with no visible title. Curiosity led her to open it. The first page said only one word: "Never forget." When she read it, a shiver ran through her body. Who had she written this? Why had she found it now? The book seemed to whisper secrets to her, as if it were waiting to be read only by her. David appeared beside her, smiling slightly. "That book has an interesting story. Not many know about it. It was written by an author who disappeared years ago. There are those who say that his books are more than just words. They contain secrets. They can change the life of whoever reads them." Charlotte looked at it confused, but also fascinated. She couldn't stop holding the book in her hands. "And what secrets does it hide?" she asked, more intrigued than ever. David smiled enigmatically. "That, dear Charlotte, is something you will only be able to discover if you decide to read it." An unexpected journey. That night, Charlotte could not sleep. The book had I kept calling from the bookstore and finally gave in to temptation. I settled on my sofa with a cup of tea and began to read. The words seemed to jump from the pages and come to life. Each line absorbed more and more. Without realizing it, the hours flew by, and what began as casual reading transformed into something much deeper. Upon reaching the end of the book, Charlotte felt that something inside her had changed. Not only did she understand the novel in a new way, but she also began to see the world differently. The next morning, Charlotte returned to the free rear. David was waiting for her, as if he had known she would return. "Did you read it?" he asked, his gaze fixed on her. "Yes, but it's more than I expected. There's something in that book that changed me, something that I can explain." David looked at him fixedly, as if waiting for him to say those words. "It's normal. That book is not just a story, it's a key. Now, it depends on you which doors you will open with it. What you have learned. Perhaps what you need is not a novel, but a purpose. A new beginning. Charlotte did not completely understand David's words, but something inside her told her that there was something bigger waiting for her. She decided to write her next novel, but this time with a different approach. Instead of following the rules of the publishing market, she would write from the heart, with a purpose beyond gaining recognition. The corner bookstore became his refuge and his source of inspiration. As he spent more time with David, the connection between them became a stronger. They realized that they not only shared a passion for books, but also a deeper connection than either of them had anticipated. With time, Charlotte wrote You, that story that not only changed his life, but also the lives of many others. His novel became a success, not because it was commercial, but because it touched the souls of those who read it. David, for his part, he remained the mysterious owner of the secret of the corner, always with the same enigmatic smile, as if he knew that Charlotte was destined to find her true voice. Through his books, End